The November election is just weeks away. Voters will decide several local races and issues this time around. 21 News is your place for politics, and tonight we're taking 5 minutes at 5 to help voters get to know the candidates in local races. Republican candidate Grandy is going up against Democratic candidate Mark Gill in the race for Sharpsville mayor. And Grandy joins me here now. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, so tell us a little about yourself, what your professional experience is, and what you think will help you as you're running for mayor.
Sure. I'm a local business owner. All of our businesses are located in Sharpsville. I am a proud husband and father to two amazing kids, an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. I've been in public safety for over 20 years as a paramedic, a firefighter. I'm also Sharpsville's current emergency management coordinator. And I think all of that makes me more than qualified for the position.
And if you're elected, what would maybe be your top goals that you'd like to achieve? Do you have, a variety of goals, or do you think you're really going to be focused on one thing?
Well, so the 4 main pillars of my campaign have been children, seniors, housing, and public safety. 1 in 4 children in our community are growing up in poverty. Single mothers are seeking emergency financial assistance in record numbers. In 2 years, the number of families reliant on WIC has increased 66%. We have an aging community in Sharpsville. 90% or more of our seniors are on fixed income, and they can't take on a double-digit tax increase or increases in water rates. I'd like to protect our housing market, right? We are approaching 40% rental properties. And as you know, in the region, we're in the midst of a healthcare and public safety crisis. In just our small town, we're seeing emergency calls for help increase 30%. From this time in 2015. So there are a lot of issues at the forefront, and I don't want to sound like an alarmist, but I have significant concern about the community that I love, and that's why I'm running for mayor. This is about pushing Sharpsville forward. It's about giving us new opportunity, and if we don't start reversing these trends, I'm concerned for the future.
Do you think you need to advocate for more federal or state funds to solve some of these issues, or form partnerships? When you mentioned the hospital and the economic issues, what might be some of the ways and avenues that you would go about solving them?
So actually, I have several. One of the biggest I think that we can do, we have some terrific neighbors in South Pymatuning Township, the community next to us. We also share a school district. I think there's an opportunity there for some shared services. If you look across the PA-Ohio border over to Hubbard, you can see that Hubbard City and Hubbard Township have a joint economic district. I think that our two communities need to start looking at some shared services, and we need to look at recruiting businesses into the community and partnering in that regard. So I think a joint economic district is huge. I also think that we're in the midst of a government shutdown, and we're also at a Pennsylvania state budget impasse. When you're a community the size of Sharpsville, that equates to hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars that is typically utilized in the form mostly of grants, through housing and urban development, into CDBG, and then ultimately through DCED from Pennsylvania to local communities. That money, being delayed is a huge concern for our communities. That means that those projects either need to be delayed, or school districts and cities need to start looking at either financing those projects or dipping into reserves. And for small towns and communities, that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to find that money in a general fund of some sort. Curious, what do you believe makes you stand out against your opponent? You say, this might be a tough race for you. What do you think, maybe would make you the leader that voters are going to want to vote for?
Yeah, I do think it's been a tough race. It's been a clean race and hard fought. And to be honest, I actually really like my opponent. But this isn't, in my opinion, about my opponent or I. I think this is more about the people of Sharpsville, and it's about progress and being transformative and pushing forward to do the right thing to our community. We have children in our community that are struggling, families and seniors that are struggling. And I want to bring a creative solution to the table. I just want to have that seat to be able to represent the younger families and say, we love our past, but we'd like to look at a different way to the future.
All right. Thank you so much for taking 5 minutes at 5 with us. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And you can watch more of our 5 minutes at 5 segments with the candidates. Just head over to the 5 p.m. video tab on the 21 News app.